could do it this way, but I'll tell you right now, the way we just recently did it is through Track IQ. Do you have Track IQ account?
Yeah.
So
And I have land ID.
so Track IQ has like the most data right now out of any like provider, Radius Plus. Like they have identified the most self-storage facilities. Now the ones you might miss out on, for you, Martin, probably not the ones you're gonna buy. Maybe from other guys, they would buy still some smaller ones, and those are the ones that are probably most likely gonna be missed by Track IQ because they're 5,000, 10,000, 12,000 square feet, something
Like
like
they
that.
may not have a GMB or a website, which is kind of what I'm looking for too. So,
Exactly, but probably not in the 10 for you. Probably not in the 5,000-10,000 small facility.
Yeah. Okay.
So for you, I'd say now if other people are looking for even smaller ones, I would do the Google My Business or not Google My Business, Google Overview Map or Land Glide like here. And what I would first do is identify the markets that have like the greatest population, like hey, like these are the biggest towns outside of Dallas that I want to be in, or the biggest towns outside of San Francisco that I want to be in that have growth. And then you identify those markets first, and then you say, hey, VA, go into this market, look at the GSI map or a map like Land Glide, and go through here, and you're literally like combing through these streets and looking for buildings that look like self-storage. Like I just picked a random area here. I don't know if we're going to come across any self-storage, but essentially like going through like this and being like, obviously you want to kind of be on main roads and stuff like that. You want better visibility. So not almost
a
like,
little further north.
yeah. So like you keep going and you go in here like, boom, like these maybe kind of look like self-storage facilities. What is this? This might be like a packing plant. Okay, that's not it. It's a UPS packing plant. And you just keep going and they're like literally scouring like this through that town. And obviously they got to keep track of where they're going to go through it. But like this one right here kind of looks maybe like this is self-storage. And then they can obviously copy the address and then go in through Google Maps and then see. It's probably easier on Google Maps because the address is right there. But Land Glide will give you the information, so I'll probably start with Google Maps and then go to Land Glide to identify who owns the house, who owns the property, and then pull it from there. Let's see, Ashburn, GA, and then see what is actually on property here. Nope, it's housing. But like you're looking for like those, shotgun looking, buildings that are self-storage like. So I thought maybe that
Okay,
was
so you're
something
just
like that.
taking a bird's eye view and you're looking from the top down, and that's kind of how you're doing it.
Correct. But like this one looks like self-security. Security mini storage. Boom. And then I identified that one. Now, is this one 217? This is the same address. Let's see. Same city. 217. Uh, 217.
And why is Land Glide better than just doing it on Google? You're saying?
No, I'm
It has it
saying
on-
I'm saying Google's probably better, but after you get the address, search it on Land Glide because it will give you the county record
Got
button,
it.
give you all the reports right away instead of being like, what county is this in, and freaking figuring out,
Is Land Glide the same as Land ID?
I do not know.
Okay.
I'm not positive on that.
I'll compare.
But like essentially, like this property, is it like I don't see a website. If I search self storage, will it pop up? Doesn't pop up. So this is something that doesn't have a website. Doesn't show up when you type in Google. And decent size, looks like a decent sized property. Look, someone want to lead. There you go.
130 East Madison. Thank you.
And so like it's literally that kind of that easy to go through it and do it. Now, this is kind of a decent sized one for not having fucking data. Now, are we going Track IQ? Does it pull up? And so if it pulls up on Track IQ, then that, they have really good data. But what I was going to say is what we've been doing is just doing it on Track IQ, identifying the markets, then having a VA just go in here and say, and they're pulling all the facilities in here. So you go to find opportunities, find facilities, and you can search. You can create profiles of like at least this size of property, and you can do how long have they owned it, the acreage. You can do an area that has at least this, no more than this square foot per capita, which I really probably wouldn't do at first. I'd segment it down afterwards, but then pull all those addresses individually. In this, they have all the data. The hard part is you can't be like Florida and pull all the data that's 30,000 square feet and bigger. You can only like do it in little fucking sections. And so that's the hard part with doing it, but obviously you don't want to do that. You want to have a VA do that.
If you're looking to buy self-storage and you want help doing it the right way, there are 2 links below you should know about. First is the self-storage script. It's the exact outreach and follow-up system that helped me buy 19 facilities in 5 years. Second is Self-Storage Creators. That's where we do weekly mentorship calls, break down real deals, and where I personally underwrite your deals so you don't overpay or miss something critical. If you're serious about buying storage, not just watching YouTube, these links are where to start.
But that is the better way to go in here and figure out the properties. Now, let's see if they have the property in here.
When you're searching,
Yeah,
it's we're going to just search by city. Is that what you're saying?
So I searched. You can search by city, but they don't even really show you the whole city. Like you can only look in a fucking. I don't know if they do higher than this.
I think they're trying to prevent
20,
people from
yeah.
like scraping the whole database
Exactly.
and then they're not, and then not coming to use their subscription again.
So the biggest thing you can get is 20-mile radius. So in 20-mile radius, it only shows that there's these facilities. That's it. And look at this. That facility's not on there. So that's why creating your own list could pan out better, but it's gonna take someone a lot more time to go through fucking aerial maps and fucking look at everything. But if you're like, hey, I love these 30 cities, 10 cities, 20 cities, whatever it may be, and you have someone go through aerial maps and look at this, you can find a fucking hidden gem, potentially a hidden gem like this that no one even has on the radar.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay.
So, but quicker route is first, hey, I want to get the list built, go here, create your list through here, and have a VA segment the list and get you the data that is available. And you can even put it as find areas by criteria. You can find areas by criteria, like cities that match certain things, like the population is at least this, the median income is at least that. So that's how you identify the markets first, and then you have them go in and identify the facilities. Has owner data, management type, I think it is. Let's see.
Yeah.
So
when you get this data, you still need to skip trace it though, right? Or find a way to be able to get the homeowner.
So
that's still another manual process.
So they have some of them, right? So they have. Let's see. So this is management type. So like obviously you can be like only sophisticated or non-designated. So like there's no type of management company in place. And then you can do has owner data. So if it has owner data, yes. That's the easier route. Obviously, they're going to have some data for it. Is it right? Is it wrong? We don't know how good of a quality that might be. I don't think my personal number's on there. I think it's like the facility number, right? So they'll give you some data, but the ones that are probably going to be the better ones to go after, just like in wholesaling, everybody takes the path of least resistance. The path of least resistance is like, let me get the ones that have the data, and I'll call those. But the ones that have no data are the ones that probably going to give the biggest results, because everybody's like, oh, I got to take these extra 2-3 steps to find out the data. How do I do that? One way is you go to Landglide, you say, okay, this property, give me the county records. I don't know if Georgia's a disclosure state or not. I don't remember off the top of my head. But essentially, boom, I go here. Who owns this property? Ashburn Security Mini Storage. Go to Secretary of State. Open Corporates is you can go to the Secretary of State route. Open Corporates has everything. But if you knew like the Secretary of State's website for that state, like Florida's like sunbiz.org, and I can pull up all the information there and it's readily available. Where here, you put in Georgia, search the company, click it here. Oh, what is this? Never seen that before. There you go. All right. And then now you say,
No way. That literally took you like 30 seconds.
agent name. Boom. And then is this the actual guy? A lot of people don't have a registered agent. Now, if this fucking says Anderson Advisors, then you might have to go through Anderson Advisors. They might not give you the information. Here it says 4 officers available. Please log in for this data. I do have a login. Awesome. Boom. CEO, Robert P. Mitchell. Teresa A. Mitchell. So they're owner occupants. Right here, these are the people you want to call. Now, you got to skip trace these people. Boom, I got an address for him. I think that was the address of this property, maybe not. But let's see. Let's see if it's his house or something. So it's that security place. Or it's like his office. Irwin. Maybe it's like his real estate office or something. But he's the owner. He's the CEO, he's the owner, and then you take this and you skip trace it. Now, you don't have an address for him directly. Now you can obviously do some things like reverse search his name, Ashburn, Georgia, to get a better address, to have better information to put into the skip trace data to get the best results. But if you put Robert P. Mitchell and you put Ashburn, Georgia, you're most likely going to get the information. I'll fucking TLO this guy right now. Who's going to bring me you call this lead and let's do a deal. I got TLO. It's probably the best one to get. It's hard to get. But you can do one-off searches where instead of like most other ones, like you got to do like a bulk search or something like that. And then for me, doing this is just a little bit, it costs more. It's $1 a skip, but the data's much better. And we can search this guy. Ashburn. And then his name was Robert P. Mitchell. And boom. His wife's name was Teresa, right? I think it was Teresa.
Yeah, it was.
Teresa A, right there, boom. Teresa A, so I got her info if I need it. Here's our phone numbers, 100% match. Got some emails. He's 76 years old. He's ready to retire. Boom. Sell it to me on seller financing. Got his info. I'll take his wife's info just in case. 20 years younger. I'm the boy. Get her info. She got a fucking ton of emails. Jesus Christ. Boom. Then you got their home address. This is their, maybe that's a home address, maybe not. Go back to his name. His home address is most likely this. Send the mail. But essentially, when you pull all this data, obviously the easiest thing is to go through the ones that like have the info. Let's imagine this property was here, but there was no data, right, for it. It didn't say had the owner information. This is how you would go find the info on the owner. Now, you can have, the best way to do this is create the markets you want to buy in. Create the list of properties. Second step of that, create that list first from TrackIQ. Grab everything that's on TrackIQ first, create the list. Then have them find, hey, see, like we have this list, mark all of them on a map, and then go around the city on an aerial and see who doesn't have, which ones we didn't find. Like if you found this one, okay, boom, here's one we found. Good job. Every one you find that's not on there, I'll give you $1 extra bonus. You know, it's all fucking out, or $5 bonus, whatever, right? Boom, they found one here, $5 bonus. They write down the address. They go here. They find all this information and they put it in a spreadsheet. They create the whole spreadsheet. Let's say you got 100. They found 100 ones that weren't on the list. Then you take that list, you bulk search it with a skip trace, skip genie, data skip, all these skip tracers, and then you have that information. You call them, mail them, contact them.